Welcome to day 21 of Strength 30 Days of Tai Chi daily exercises. So this is the exercise portion of the program. We also have the Tai Chi version. To get both versions, please click the link in the video description and you can sign up for free. All right, and so today's exercise is called the MiniSquat to the FullSquat. All right, so at the very beginning of the program, we went over the MiniSquat because it's one of the most important exercises that you can do. All right, and so at this point, you may want to progress to a full squat. All right, so I'll show you how to do that. All right, first, let's just review the MiniSquat because it's really important to get the movement pattern correct. All right, so you always want to do the MiniSquat by standing with your feet shoulder width apart or even wider, but not so much that you're losing balance. You want it to be wide and then also so that you're stable. All right, I'm going to show you from the side because the key to the MiniSquat is to hinge from the hips. All right, see how I send my hips back? And my chest has to come forward or else I'll fall back. So you have to counterweight it by letting your chest just kind of passively come forward. The knees bend slightly. The knees kind of bend on their own. All right, you don't want your knees to come forward. That's how a lot of people squat, is they come down, and that puts a lot of stress on the knees and the lower back. So instead, send the hips back, and that activates the thigh muscles in the hips. That's going to protect your back and knees. All right, so let's just do a few of those. You can hold the arms out as well for balance. All right, so that's the MiniSquat. Notice how my knees are not going past my toes. So just double check. See, if you're going here, then just bring them back and then try to just go to there next time. All right, so it might take a little bit of practice. All right, let me show you from the front what it looks like. All right, notice how my knees are not coming in either. We don't want that. We want to keep the knees in the same direction as the toes. All right, so if I look, my knees are pointing that way, so are my feet. And it's okay, you can have them out a little bit. Some people need that because their hips might have different conditions going on, so it's okay if they're out a little bit. Just find a comfortable position. Because if you do this and then you feel like you're buckling in, then maybe just spread the toes out just a little, see if that helps. All right, so now we want to do the full squat for those that want to. All right, and so for this one, it's the same thing, you just go lower. But when you're going lower, when you get to a certain point, your knees will go past your toes. So I just wanted you to go over this to let you know that's okay. All right, the key is to start off with the hip hinge, and then as you get lower, the knees will come forward a little bit. All right, so you hip hinge and then come down. And so that's the full squat, and you can go all the way down as much as you can, as long as you can get back up. So maybe just start off with the MiniSquat, and then go a little bit lower. It's like, okay, I can do that. All right, now I can go a little bit lower. All right, and then I can go to right about here. Now I'm like, okay, that's getting tough. So maybe don't go quite that low just yet and just work there. So right above that level where it's really tough. All right, and then that'll give you a little bit of strengthening and room to progress without, well, hopefully with the likelihood of not getting injured. All right, and so once you do that, you can then progress with weight. So I always recommend starting off with just 1 or 2 pounds. You can just hold a dumbbell right in front. All right, and so you would hold it right in front. Actually, I'll just show you. All right, so I just have, this one's really little, so I would just hold it right in front of my heart, bring my elbows in, and come down into a squat. So that's like kind of a front squat. They actually call it the goblet squat. If you hold it like that, it's kind of like a goblet. This one's so little though, I just kind of hold it regular. But yeah, so depending on how big the weight is, you might want to hold it to where you're holding it like that, while your hands would be around it. It just depends on the weight. Or if you have a kettlebell, you can hold the handles of the kettlebell. All right, so I have one of those. I'll show you. That one's probably even better to use, but they can be kind of expensive. But you can always hold the kettlebell really close to you. Remember, elbows in, kettlebell right in front of the heart, and then coming down. All right, it's called the goblet squat. Show you from the side here. All right, so that would be a goblet squat where you're starting to use a little bit of weight. And so I like to do that. I don't like to put a big barbell on my back anymore. I used to do that, but this is just good enough for now. All right, now if you're an avid weightlifter and you like to do barbell squats, you can do that. Although it does, I do think as a physical therapist and a strength and conditioning specialist, I've seen more people get injured doing like 2-leg barbell squats. So I always recommend that if you don't really need to, maybe stick with front squat, goblet squats, or single leg squats using a barbell. That way it limits how much weight you can put on it, which then limits how much weight you're putting on your spine. All right, so it can really cause back pain if you're going too heavy with regular squats for some people. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the exercise together without weight. We'll do 10 reps doing the full squat, in full just meaning you're full. So it doesn't mean you have to get all the way down to the ground, not that you would want to, but maybe, I usually recommend if you're doing a squat as an exercise, you don't really want your thigh to be more than parallel, so you don't necessarily want to come all the way down. As a movement, that's good to do every once in a while if you can, so you can maintain it. But as an exercise, I don't recommend doing lower than parallel to the ground. All right, so go anywhere from parallel to the mini squat. Anywhere in between is good. All right, so just to review, feet shoulder width apart or wider. All right, bring the toes out a little bit if you know that your knees come in too much when you do it. We're gonna breathe in on the way down and breathe out on the way up. All right, so let's do one practice. So breathe in, down, breathe out, up. All right, ready? Let's do 10. Or remember, you can always do less. But you can do up to 10 for now, or less. All right, here we go. Ready? And breathe in. And breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. The hands can come out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, make sure you come all the way up too, so you don't want to cheat. You might want to use a chair, have something close by in case you need some help on the last couple reps. But if you feel like you're getting tired, then just stop. You don't need to push it, and then potentially that could lead to injury. Don't really want that, so just go easy with yourself. Just know that you can meet yourself wherever you are and always progress. All right, just think of this as a long-term progression for your health and wellness. The squat is one of the best things you can do for so many reasons. It's going to help you get up and down out of a chair, toilet, out of bed, up and down stairs. It's going to help with recreational activities, walking on uneven surfaces, up and down hills, on and off curbs. All right, the list is pretty big of how many things that the squat helps with. So it's probably one of the best exercises that everybody can be doing, whether you do it without weight or with weight. All right, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Type them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.